Hello there, and welcome to another SimCron. We've made it all the way through to Q4 of 2025, and so this is our fourth SimCron of the year, and it's great to have you along with us. My name's David, and I'm delighted to have these couple of senior Simwood people with me. Hello there.
Hi, guys.
Simon, let me hand over to you to really talk about the last SimCron and what we're going to be covering in this one.
Okay, so I thought we'd do something a bit different today, guys. So last time we did the roadmap as usual, but we talked about lots of multi-quarter projects that were ongoing for multi-quarters, as the name suggests. But there was also one more thing, which was WhatsApp integration. And it's fair to say that WhatsApp integration became the primary focus for the previous quarter. So given the other stuff is still ongoing, but we've reached a bit of a landmark with WhatsApp, what I thought was best this time is let's just deep dive on what we've done and what's now available, because we had approval from Meta yesterday for those that haven't seen the blog. So it is available for those that are in the Carrier Services beta program to play with now. Charles, you're probably best to run with this.
Yeah. Happy to give a quick demo as well of where we're at and functionality that's available. But yeah, it's been an achievement, should I say, to get this far. There's a long way to go, and of course, as we usually do, we're going to pull this through to hosted as well very soon. In fact, this quarter, it's one of the first jobs to do. So yeah, there's lots there, but it's usable as it is, and then we can help customers with plans to integrate, build on top of, and answer any questions that they may have in terms of opportunity, potential, etc. But it's big. I mean, when you consider there's 300 billion users on
3 billion.
WhatsApp. 3 billion users.
There's only 8
on WhatsApp
billion
currently.
people on the planet.
Sorry, mine's on the screen up here as well.
It's your enthusiasm, Charles.
Trying to multitask, and that's not working.
You've been hanging out with sales.
Very well. So yeah, 3 billion users globally. This and it's quite ubiquitous in terms of messaging and communication for those for those consumers that are out there for your business. So it's big. Should we dive straight into a bit of a visual demo? It just gives us a bit of context as I'm talking. Share the screen, and we'll go from there. The page in the portal, as those on the beta program will have no doubt seen by now, is here under the Platform Connect submenu, WhatsApp Business. And when you first enter the page, with no WhatsApp Business accounts connected, you have the opportunity to connect one. And as with anything Meta related, the process is logging in with a Facebook account, and that Facebook account will either be linked to an existing WhatsApp Business account, or this process, what's called embedded sign-up flow process, will allow you to create one as part of it. So let's jump straight in and do just that. So show you how seamless it is. I will start by saying that this is obviously in the Simwood portal. It's branded for Simwood, but one of the things that one of the capabilities here for our customers is for them to register themselves as a tech partner with Meta. They don't need to create any integrations or apps, because they can use ours, the one that we've worked on and hard over the last quarter and had approved, and then build their own embedded sign-up flow that they can insert on their own website or portal, just as they would analytics code generated by Google. It really is sort of point click, copy paste, and that embedded code links back to our app. When your own customers sign up, it pulls through into your list of connected accounts here, and then you can use them just as you're going to see here. But for now, on the beta program, you can test with your own WhatsApp Business accounts just to see how powerful and how many features there are already and growing. So let's start with here. I'm going to create a new WhatsApp business account because the other one is already connected elsewhere. And very quickly go through just a few basic options about the business. Okay, that's created a business account. I'm also going to add a new number for which verification is required, but that also takes place in this flow. So it's nice and seamless, straightforward. We'll pop this in here and use a number that I know isn't already on WhatsApp. That one there. And it's not capable of receiving a text message, so I'm going to generate a phone call. So that's going to make a call shortly. Here we go. It's actually ringing through to my extension here. So I'm going to answer that. Okay, simple. So we should, as long as I've typed that correctly, have a number that's verified. Hit confirm. Now it's going to take just a few moments, but when it's done, we can continue. Now it's opened the WhatsApp Manager page because I've created a new account here, and this is going to take me through the steps to sort of complete that setup. But if I come back to here, so this one here, we can see, there we go. We can see that the number has been added with the display name. Now, this business account is part of a portfolio where the business, the overarching business, has already been verified. So we're fortunate enough, actually, with this, in this instance, to have the business pre-verified, which means we can actually start using it straight away as it is. If you don't already have a verified business account, you will need to get that verified in order to unlock and enable business calling. You'll be able to access the messaging side of things immediately, but WhatsApp or Meta's rules for business calling is you must get to the next tier of business messaging before you can receive and initiate business calls. That's a fairly painless process. As David discovered just yesterday, I think, when he added his own business account, went through verification fairly.
It was surprisingly easy. I thought I was going to have to pull up company registration documents and things, but it did some kind of online search and found my details, and I just had to agree them and verify them.
That's it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here, because that number is
sorry, I was muted. Is that setup guidance tab that you clicked off, Charles? Is that where they do the verification? Right. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So usually, if this was a completely blank slate with the way it sits in what's in the WhatsApp or the Meta kind of hierarchy is you have a business portfolio which contains one or more Facebook pages, WhatsApp business accounts, all of the other sort of products and services that fall under the Meta umbrella. And so if you're starting with a blank slate, a fresh business portfolio, which hasn't been verified, then you would have to go through these steps here to get verified. Because I was adding a new WhatsApp business account to an existing portfolio, which had already been verified, these steps have already been complete. So it's just skipped all the way through, and it's shown your business is verified, completed, done. Otherwise, you would have to go through these steps to get verified, if that makes sense. So we've bypassed that because we've already been verified. But yeah, as I say, it's important to get the business verification if you don't already have it, just to enable the higher level of message sending and, crucially, the business calling functionality. So let's close that. And let's go back to this page here. In fact, well, we'll go into templates first. There are two types of message, broadly speaking, in the WhatsApp world. You have a free-form message, which is just, as you expect, a chat with a message within a conversation, and then you have a templated message. A free-form message you can only send as a business if you're in what they call a customer service window. And that customer service window is a 24-hour rolling window that starts from the time a WhatsApp user or consumer contacts you. And each time they message you, that window is extended for another 24 hours. Within that window, you can message them with just a free-form message, and that just is just a reply to them, and that's okay. Outside of that window, you can't. The only way that you can initiate a conversation is with a template message, and that template message is based on a template which you must create first, get approved by Meta, and then you can use it in order to send messages. Those messages could be marketing messages. They could be transactional type messages. Your order's on its way. It's just shipped. This is the reference. Here's the tracking number, etc. Or it could be one-time password type messages. Lots of examples of scenarios there, but you get the idea. In terms of charges, WhatsApp don't charge for messages within the customer service window. They do charge for templated messages. Charges obviously from WhatsApp to the business or to the customer are direct from them and is passed through, or will eventually be passed through when we get our credit line, which is the next stage. At which point the charges will be billed to us and we'll just pass them through. Currently, it will be directly to the end user. So they'll also need a payment method on the account in order to send template messages.
We're going to have to do some blogs or explanations on this because as well as charging for templated messages, they charge differentially based on what type of template they are, don't they? So a sales message would be far more expensive than a one-time password. So it's important that customers understand the different categorizations and how it hangs together. But at the moment, it's in beta and we're not billing anything. So that's a problem for later.
Exactly. Yeah. Documentation's a big part of this quarter's work in the WhatsApp functionality. So let's start by building a template, just to show how easy it is. No templates on this account, so we're going to create one. As you can see, there are actually 3 template categories. Authentication is a special one where the sort of one-time password code is built into a button and the actual message itself, and it disappears and all that sort of thing. You can still send one-time passwords as a standard message, as a utility message. In the meantime, but this is coming soon. The actual sort of authentication specific type message. The 2 that are available right now, marketing and utility, you select from either. I'm going to go with the utility, and I'm going to say this is order shipped test. There we go. You choose your language. There are various header types available with template messages. In fact, there are 3 main sections: the header, the body, the footer. Header and footer are optional. There are also optional buttons, and you'll see this build in the preview as we go. I'm going to just go with a box standard text header for now, and your order has shipped. Okay. In the body, I'm going to actually personalize it by adding what's called a variable. I'm going to call that variable name. Your order is on its way. Reference 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Let's do that as a variable as well. Yeah. This really doesn't make any sense at all, but I'm just trying to rush through. Now, if you add variables to a template, you must provide samples as part of the approval process. This has to be approved by Meta before it can be used. So we must provide samples. It doesn't matter, obviously, as long as it makes sense and gives Meta an idea of what sort of content is going to be in those messages. Okay, and as you can see, it's again replaced these in the text as we've typed. Let's give them a tracking link. Track your order. Oh no, so that's the wrong one. This is a footer. We appreciate your business. let's give them a tracking link, something like track your order. We can do another one. Actually, call us about that. Okay. Now, there are a number of validation checks. This is all okay, complete, ready to submit. If it wasn't, this button would be disabled, but I'm going to go ahead, submit for review, and within a few seconds, hopefully, this is actually submitting to Meta as we speak. There we go. So Meta took a while to come back and say and accept the submission, but that is now submitted to review and it's pending. Until that is approved, we can't use it. Meta will usually approve or reject within an hour. Typically, I mean, I've had it within a few minutes. I've had it take several hours, but it really depends on their load, I guess, and resource at the time. It could be rejected, it could be approved, or they could approve it with a category change if they don't agree with your choice of category. But either way, that will come back. You'll get a notification directly to your Facebook account or WhatsApp account to say that that's been approved or not, and then it will be here ready to send. Now, I've already got some. Go on,
Sorry to interrupt, Charles. Apart from obvious content type things, why might they reject one? What are the sort of gotchas you've seen?
I've not had anything rejected per se. I've only had them change the category. I've got to be honest, I don't actually know why they changed the category because they don't give you a reason, which is frustrating. And actually, it was a transactional test just like this one. Decided it was a marketing message.
Right.
No. So yeah, I honestly don't know what the reason in that case was for it to be changed. However, I just resubmitted the same thing with as a utility message again, and it was approved. So go figure.
So human discretion then in that case.
There probably is an element of discretion on their side. There will be errors. I think for the most part, this all approvals and things that they're all automated and sort of done by AI in the majority of cases in the first instance. So again, there'll be some issues, inaccuracies there, but
that's worth watching though, because the difference in price between categories is quite profound.
It is, yeah, it is. So yeah, watch out for that. But once it's accepted with a given category, then that is the category that all messages sent using it will be billed at. So there's no risk of it, any surprises afterwards or unexpected charges, as long as you notice that the category has changed. Although as I recall, I think in the notification it said we've approved it but have changed the category. So there is that. I've just switched account here to the other one, which already has some templates approved, just so that I can show you sending of one of those templates now. As you can see, you've got the send button here. It's pre-selected the template, although this wizard does have an initial step where you can choose any of the templates, but this has just gone straight in with that pre-selected. I'm going to choose this number instead. There's two numbers on this account. I'm going to choose that one to send from. A template is at the business level, not the number level. So you can use any of your numbers once it's approved. And I'm going to send it. This will have to be here. And there's no variables to fill on the header. We need to fill in here. And we need to fill in here. Okay, because those are the variables we've configured on that template. And this is what it will look like. I'm going to send it, and that's it. Let's check. Oh, there we go. It's just come through. Templated messages can take sort of 10-15 seconds, I've noticed, to actually to work the way through. Untemplated messages are pretty much instant.
Charles, a quick question on this. You've done this through the portal for obvious demo purposes here, but in day-to-day life, are people going to be doing this programmatically?
Indeed. This as with anything, here that you see in the portal, it's all driven by the underlying API. There are API endpoints for all of this. So yeah, the ultimate goal is that you'll build something on top of this, build it into your own platform, because you won't be going into here and sending messages for your customers. Ultimately, this is just the control panel to be able to manage those connections, those accounts. The actual sending and receiving the messages will be through API into your platform, and there are webhooks for the inbound, and then you can respond obviously within the customer service window. With a free-form message post to the API. Okay, so that's...
Sorry, Charles. Another question. Sorry to interrupt. Another question. So you added that call us button and you put a phone number behind it. Is that within the WhatsApp walled garden? So that would be a WhatsApp call to that number, or would that just be any number and it's a call originated from the phone?
That particular one is just any number. And if I was to press that, this sharing of the phone, if I actually initiate a call, I think it will close the window again. But this will just open the phone dialer because it's a number outside of WhatsApp. And the button itself is specifically just for a regular call. There is another button that you can actually use just to initiate a WhatsApp call, which this also does up here, obviously. And if I, in fact, I can show that right now because that was one of the next things to show. If I click the call button from here, I don't know if this works from the share. I'll come back to that just for time. However, I think, Simon, there's a video of you demoing a call on our blog and one of the recent posts. So if we don't manage to actually demo it here, then there is that to fall back on. In fact, yours went to Teams as well, which was even better.
Yeah, that was pretty early on, wasn't it? That was when you'd done you'd done the hard bit, which was actually getting the call flow going. Without us fully appreciating the massive amount of stuff behind the scenes on the verification and the various, templating and API workflows involved in just administering these integrations. But yeah, we'll put a link to that at the top.
That's it. I mean, I can just try really quickly because it works then. There we go, actually. Okay, so that's WhatsApp audio connecting. Now that's gone through to the Nimvelo's main switchboard. You won't be able to hear it from there, but it's connected.
I can, yeah.
And okay, and it's connected to an Nimvelo number because so that's routed to the same place that a call from the PSTN would route because the routing is already there on the account. It goes actually to the hosted PBX in this case, goes to an IVR. So it gets answered the same way, whether it's a regular call, PSTN call, or whether it's a WhatsApp call, which is amazing. It's powerful because that's giving your customers or your consumers the choice of how they reach you. But ultimately it goes to the same call center, the same team of agents. As regardless of their choice. So that's really powerful. So that was sending a template message. We can, if we just go back to the numbers now, let's show a couple of things really quickly, and then I'll perhaps we'll come back to David and yourself for any questions about things or just things I may have missed. Let's have a look at phone numbers on this account. They're both connected. They're both got high quality rating, but if I look at the configuration,
what does that mean?
Well, that's basically the quality score that's given to the number. If it starts high once everything's verified, but if you get any sort of WhatsApp users blocking your number or reporting a message or anything, it's similar to spam reports in Gmail or anything else like that. That can affect your quality score and it can bring it down. If you've got a lower quality score, you'll start to see restrictions in terms of message volumes, capabilities, whether you can actually initiate. If you get reports from a particular template, for example, they could suspend that template. So various.
I love all that.
Consequences, yeah. But it just means that the users are have peace of mind that they're in a secure and regulated environment, should we say? That means that they're not being spammed. There's no sort of spoofing going on. It's hopefully the reputation takes time.
If only there was such an easy ready reckoner for every phone number.
Indeed. Right. So let's quick look at the configuration options. We've got inbound messages and we've got inbound calls. Actually, what I've got here, but by default, if this is off, inbound messages to this number will go to webhook configured on your account. Again, this is all through the API, and we're going to document the API as part of the work this quarter. But one thing you can do here instead of, if you don't want to, or if you're not in a position to build, or if actually you prefer it to go to an agent, as you know, one of the recent additions here on the left-hand side was the conversations AI. You can route messages actually to one of those agents and have a text-only conversation with that agent, and the agent will reply, and that reply will go directly back to the WhatsApp user. Similarly for inbound calls, as long as your message level is in the first tier up from the base level, in other words, when you verified your business, you'll be able to enable WhatsApp calling, and it will either follow your default configuration on the account by default. In other words, exactly how a call to that number, if it exists on your account already, would route. Or in fact, if it doesn't exist on your account, it will still follow the default route. And the destination number will obviously be in the SIP invite to your platform, and you can do what you want with it. Or you can actually send it to a different trunk if you wanted to route differently for WhatsApp calls compared to calls in from PSTN or elsewhere.
It's important to clarify here. You can add numbers to WhatsApp that don't exist on the Simwood account.
Yes, that's right. So WhatsApp obviously do the verification, as we demonstrated at the start, and that number, as long as you're in control of it, it doesn't matter where it is, who it's with, as long as you can confirm the verification code, they'll allow you to add it, and then any WhatsApp users calling it, those calls will route to your Simwood account. So the number itself doesn't need to be on your Simwood account. We'll just route it, obviously, to your inbound config on either the default config or the trunk that you select here, accordingly.
So you got a call center with a number from a Dino carrier, say, and they want to enable WhatsApp. They can enable the WhatsApp through us and leave the existing call center configuration of PSTN call delivery alone, but end up with calls in the same place. Or ideally port the number and have everything in one place, but it's completely separate.
Yeah, this is such an easy configuration, and yet it's so immensely powerful because your AI agent can make a decision about whether the agent believes you need to talk to somebody, and if they do, they can say just tap the call button, and because of this routing, you can go straight through, voice to voice or through to the IVR or whatever. It's amazing. It's a very smooth transition from messaging through to human connectivity.
That's right. Or take contact details for a call back, or shortly, hopefully into this quarter, when one of the things we're doing is call control. So the agent could actually trigger an outbound call to the WhatsApp user and connect it to a human agent as part of a transfer. So there's so many options there. Yeah, to sort of seamless transition between the sort of communication channels, multimodal, shall we say.
I don't think we should underestimate the power of that combination of text and, well, not just text, but multimedia and audio. I mean, how many times do you have a phone call with somebody and you commit to follow up by emailing them some documents or sending a photo or what have you? That can now all happen within the same conversation thread concurrently.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And actually, in the lab already with the conversational AI, we are restructuring and 2.0 no, shall we say. We've already got this sort of multimodal or multimedia side by side, so you can be talking over WebRTC and chatting, and the two like a real-time transcript as you're going alongside each other, and then continue on one or the other afterwards.
And just on Simon's point about delivery of emails, delivery of PDFs and stuff like that, that can actually happen within this conversation, can't it? Because, WhatsApp having that capability. So
That's right.
amazing.
That's right. Yeah, you can be talking and say, "Oh, I've just sent you a PDF with all of these details in," and you can confirm there and then that you've received it, in your chat. So it's it's really, really powerful.
Immensely powerful for sales as well, because you can send a payment link or a contract or whatever it might be.
Yeah, really, really powerful. So we've got these two set. I've got this agent answering inbound messages here, and I've got inbound calls. I've just demoed the inbound call actually, and that followed the standard configuration on the account, which goes to essentially the hosted PBX, the same as the regular PSTN call would. But if I can just really quickly now demo the agent, then I think we can leave it at that, unless there's anything else that I've missed. But let's connect this again, and very quickly in the same window here, I'll just say, hey, there we go. So it now shows as red. And immediately
I love the delivery. Maybe I'm a geek, but no, I'm a geek. But I love the delivery reports for the agent.
Yeah, now we're doing that obviously because when we receive the message, we can just leave it as unread. But I just I think it's a nice touch. It's a
little things.
Little things, yeah, and from a user perspective, they see that it's in progress. It's been, it's progressing, and something's been done. We're considering adding a typing indicator, but that might just be a bit too far for an agent to be typing. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll get some feedback and have a vote on it. I'm going to say, hey. I've just received a notification about shipping, but I don't think I'll be in. Yes, reference 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you have someone call to rearrange? Obviously, as we progress, we'll be able to build tools in to connect to your own APIs to actually reschedule deliveries and things in real time in the chat. At this stage, we could just have it take contact details.
Yeah,
I think
that's an example as well where your agent is fairly dumb in this case, because
indeed
you've sent the message, so usually it should know the state and the order ID the message was related to. But it's an example.
Yeah, and this agent here that I'm using as a demo is actually configured to provide general information about the products and services, not to be able to deal with existing orders and deliveries. So if I was to ask about the company, it would actually go and the services. It has a knowledge base that it's connected to. It has access to the website and the specific pages, so it can answer those with high accuracy. But I'm using it as a demo here, just as a example scenario in which you would actually probably connect it to order systems and things, and have some a pre-call post or pre-call webhook, giving it some context as well for that particular call.
So here we're talking about calling, say, could you send a templated message within this conversation window, or could you construct a similar rich message just as an untemplated message? In other words, can you put a call button in a normal conversation like this?
Yes, you can. So you can include sort of components that are similar to those in the template messages in a regular message, in a text message. The structure of the payload is obviously, it needs to match a certain format, which can be documented. But regular text messages or plain text messages are just one type. You can have, let me close this out of the way. You can have reactions, emoji type messages, images, videos, catalogs, surveys, all sorts of nice and enhanced, rich content type messages or interactive messages. All of which is just defined by the payload that you send in the content of that message.
Yeah, I think it's worth pointing out that in the UK, we're actually a bit behind in terms of WhatsApp. As you know, sometimes I live in Brazil, and in Brazil, everything is done on WhatsApp. If you want to order a pizza, it's on WhatsApp. If your one-time password will come through on WhatsApp. If you want to book your car into the garage, you're probably going to do that on WhatsApp. Virtually everything is sort of interconnected.
Yeah, same in Asia. That's why I was so excited, about this when we first started. Because when I was last out there, like you say, David, you airport transfer, the complete workflow from the guy picking you up, verifying with a photo, telling his office he's got you, through to getting a new pillow in your bedroom, everything is done within that ecosystem. And this is going to be so powerful for businesses, every business of every size, to bring consumers through securely and richly on the platform that they choose to use into the environment that the business chooses to use and has all the tools in.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited about it, as people might be able to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, WhatsApp is famously used for family groups and things like that. And so it's easy to refer or forward messages to other people in the family. If you've had a good experience with the garage or whatever it might be, that's easily done as well.
As a thought, I can put an agent in my family group. That'll do.
Or to pretend to be you. Fair enough.
So, does that cover everything, do you think? Is there anything else that you want to see while we've got the screen up?
You've mentioned about the call flow. You mentioned agents done messaging. I think that's great for today, Charles. The obvious question is next steps.
Next steps. Yes, documentation is going to be key because it's incredibly powerful, but at the same time, incredibly complex. The complexity around some of the stuff is significant. So we've got to document everything on our side as clearly and concisely as we can. Referring, of course, to Meta's documentation and areas, pages where relevant, where the part of the process sits with them. But yeah, then we're going to have there'll be improvements here around in the portal around the current status, messaging limits and things, being able to verify business from within our portal or API, or at least initiate the steps there. But the key next step actually is to document how our customers can link with our app, if you like. It's what they call a partner solution. So we create a partner solution whereby our customer requests to use our app, or we invite them to use our app ID. They or us accept that partnership, and they can then go away and embed this sign up flow on their own website. Of course, before our customers start onboarding their customers, they're probably going to want to build something first. So that's why documentation is kind of the priority. Let's enable our customers to build something, or to at least explore possibilities, realms of possibilities, and see what they want to build, or what they think they can build. And then they can start to invite their customers to use it through this embedded sign-up flow.
Awesome.
Awesome. I was going to just jump in for a minute, if I may, and just say that there's a blog about this at blog.simwood.com. In fact, there's a lot of blogs about
It's not
WhatsApp.
blog.simwood.com anymore.
What is it, Simon?
The colouring in department messed about with it. It's simwood.com/blogs.
Okay, well
Carry on.
that's great news. There's loads of great blogs there about lots of different things, and actually quite a well documented set of blogs that progress what we've been doing with WhatsApp. And the most recent one is one that I did that includes a video of a demo. So Charles has just taken us through everything and very kindly given us behind the scenes look at things. But if you'd like to see a kind of just a straightforward some interaction on WhatsApp with a conversational AI, and then it very quickly and easily turning into a call that routes through to Teams, that that just takes a few seconds, then that's part of the video that's on with that blog. And the blog's called WhatsApp Added by Simwood or something like that. It's a very recent blog that's up there.
Key takeaway or elevator, if you like, is any of our customers, any carrier or platform operator globally can enable their customers to have calling through WhatsApp to any of their numbers, whether or not they're on the Simwood platform, with us potentially just disappearing into the background and being effectively the technology provider, and that extends to voice hand messaging, which I think is huge. And the key value that we're adding there is that we can deliver them into the existing environment. That could be a Teams call center, that could be a SIP call center, that could be any combination of the two, or any other call flow. The only caveat is there's meta restrictions that we can't deliver calls from WhatsApp directly to the PSTN for regulatory reasons. But practically, why would you want to anyway?
And other than that, it is really truly an any to any, as has been quoted elsewhere.
All the promise of the potato reimagined. All right, guys, that was brilliant. Thank you, Charles. That was really, really good. I'm even more excited now.
It was a nice talk through, wasn't it? As we draw towards an end, do you want to preview anything that might be coming next time around, or are you keeping it a secret? And I'm talking in
Charles,
general, not just about
me. You looking at me?
I'm not talking just about WhatsApp. Yeah. I'm talking in general.
Yeah. I think I've already given away some of the exciting developments around the conversational AI. There's a lot of work going on there at the moment to really unlock some of this sort of additional potential and power over and above what we our first release, our initial sort of beta release. So that's a watch this space kind of a thing. But yeah, I've already alluded to things like call control, multimodal conversations, and a much enhanced knowledge base, and what's known as RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation, which in short just means it gives your agents the ability to work with greater accuracy and draw on knowledge that is properly linked back to source, and it avoids hallucinations and makes them far more helpful as a part of your team.
Just to be a tease, I've seen some of this stuff, and RAG itself is vanilla conversational AI, but some of the enhancements that we've got going on to it that enable it to be effectively real time and go out and interrogate the internet as it is now are just awesome, and nobody else is doing it.
Brilliant. Great. Well, I think we're concluding, aren't we, this Q4 edition of SimCron, and so really it only remains to say that we'll see you all next year with more exciting news.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you.